Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Jerry, and I have the honor of being your host today. If this is your first time, we are delighted to have you that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially through Zoom and Facebook. Please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We, are, we add our recordings to each website each week. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a New Thought community living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into the world. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinctions. This is a diverse, open, and affirming community. There are many paths to the divine. We can call it God, peace, love, or spirit. It doesn't matter what you call it. That is totally your decision. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, just to name a few. Our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community created and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come on and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome and enjoy our service as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each of us. So now I'll pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale.
And hey, thank you so much. Woohoo, fabulous girl. So here's what I gotta say is thank you. I love the way you made sure we knew this was a diverse community. That's what I like. So thank you to our fabulous mistress of ceremony and the cleanup woman, Groovy G. So to our YouTube listeners and everybody everywhere, welcome. Now, if you happen to be on YouTube listening, always say something in our chat and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. So welcome to Mind, Body, Spirit Center, CSL Charlotte. So the first thing we do here is we open up our spiritual community with a celebration, with an affirmative prayer. And pretty much how that's done is that first person is the person that does it for us to set the tone, if you will. So since we are all about navigating the ego in pursuit of possibilities, we are having on our platform Reverend Karen, and that's my birthday sister. But you know, the relationship with Karen and I was a conspiracy in the land of possibilities. Well, I should say the world of possibilities. But yes, it was, because who knew that we were going to be existing to this day after what, 11 years ago? Just meeting, a chance meeting we had in Santa Monica, wherever we were, in California. And who knew that? So, you know, and now we're a team. So if you want, now when it comes down to navigating the ego and pursuit of possibility, sometimes people say, wow, that's a whole lot to think about. But you know what? If you want some help to get yourself to learn the art of navigating the ego and pursuit of possibilities, maybe you go to our website right now. And if you go to our website and put in a prayer request, then an email comes to your inbox. After that, it has a prayer in it. And then here's the thing. You have to put in a prayer request in order to get that email in your inbox. So that said, let her do her thing. Karen, make it happen for us.
Oh, thank you, Sister Reverend Rosedale. You are beautiful today, as always. And as we get ready for this talk, absolutely going into the space of love and kindness and compassion that is within us, it's the presence of God that expresses through each of us, as us, through us individually, and knowing that presence, feeling that presence here, all the beautiful qualities of God that are inside of us, that we have the power through God to express into the world to those that we love and those that we don't feel we love. For it is all God, it is all beauty, it is all life. And navigating through this, our inner, inner GPS system takes us to the roads of light, the roads of possibilities. And there are so many roads of possibilities in our lives. And as Rosedale mentioned, I had no idea how the two of us were going to come together in this platform at CSL Charlotte Family. I did not even have any idea at all, but God did. And it led me to all the people I needed to meet and all the places I needed to go to be here today, to do this prayer and to know that as Reverend Rosedale delivers her message, we each take it into our lives individually and know what we need to do. Know that our possibilities are endless. They are beauty and they are filled with the light that we shine on them. For we are the presence of God here upon this earth. And with each other, we hold the highlight for everyone, for ourselves especially, knowing that God is the answer and the expression of who we are, the beauty of life. For that is all of us. And in gratitude for this opportunity to pray and gratitude for being in this family, please join me as I release this prayer into the universal law. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Wow, that's powerful, Reverend Karen. I love the EPS system you created. Instead of GPS, it's EPS. Energy, whatever the other one, you know what it means. But hey, that's right. It's guiding us. It guided us together. So thank you, Reverend Karen. So next on our platform is our reader, and that is Jariva Trailer, aka JT. Now, JT facilitates one of my spiritual practices, like the yoga practice. And on Thursday night, she reminded me about navigating the ego in pursuit of possibilities because she had been going through something and she mentioned that, you know what? This practice is going to be for me to remind me who I am. And I said, you know what? Me too. So I decided to do the same practice that night. And I really started realizing again, you're back to normal. Here you go. This is you, Rosedale. This is you. So that being said, to have people like that around you constantly talking that stuff is really, really good. So listen to her reading today, and you're going to identify with her reading. I know that, that's for sure. But here's another thing. After JT finishes the reading, listen to the song One Power by Daniel Nahmod. Now, when you know the truth that we are all the one power, then you get to understand the need for navigating the ego in pursuit of all of your possibilities. So JT, make it do what it do, my love.
Thank you, Reverend Rosedale. Today's reading is from The Sacred Yes, which is a book by Reverend Deborah Johnson. And this book is basically letters or whispers, as she calls them, that she received from Spirit. So the letter I'm going to be reading, actually an excerpt from the letter I'm going to be reading, is titled Maintaining a Vision. I bring you your visions. I will also bring them into manifestation. The co-creation that you must do with me is on an energetic level. You must meet me in the field of all possibility and commune with me there. Let us trust often and do not be afraid to share our sacred union with others. Our intimacy has no bounds. I don't have favorites, and no one can steal your dreams from you. Many of you hoard your visions, stockpiling them in your secret vaults and safety deposit boxes. What are you doing? Are you saving for a rainy day? What would that rain look like? For most of you, it looks like pain and aggravation. You move towards your vision when you can no longer tolerate where you are. Yet the energy of that anger and Anger contaminates your humility, and you begin to take things on yourself for your own sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. This brings your ego into the situation because it wants credit for everything. It is not good enough that your vision materialized. Your ego wants to know that it did it. And when your ego cannot take credit for your success, it takes credit for your failure. Your self condemnation and self criticism are ways for you to take credit for why things are the way they are, thereby satisfying your ego's need to feel it is doing something. Look at me. What a big mess I've made. Taking credit for not manifesting your vision is as egotistical as taking credit for doing it. Start giving me some credit, and everything will start working more smoothly. I do not want you flailing around in the dark. Your confusion is your unwillingness to step back from what you think you know. Your prayers are often just pleas or demands on your part that I explain the genesis, significance, or fate of some particular fact or situation that you are fixated on. My requirement that you let go is not that you should let go of the vision, as too many of you suspect, but for you to let go of the minute details that you are fixated on. You don't receive an answer because your questions are faulty to begin with, laden with worries and concerns. Spend more time focusing on my power to create anything than on yours not to. All that support and affirmation you keep looking for, you're looking in the wrong places. Turn towards me. We are always the winning team. Have I ever let you down, really? Things may not have always fit your picture of how they ought to be, but have I ever let you down? Chill out, as they would say. Tell this to the people this morning. They need it. And so it is.
Call it Jesus, call it Lord. Breathe. Let's get into our service today. And let's start to take that really deep breath in, because you know breath is our life force. And 24/7, you have been, I promise, shallow breathing. So rather than argue that point, just breathe in real deep. Exhale real slow. Because we're going to start with a 1 minute centering by relaxing those eyes, either let them fall down into the lap or possibly close them, but just don't have any side distractions. Just for a moment, give you this moment. And one more deep breath in and exhale really slow. Because you know what Daniel Nahmad said, there's one power and it's invisible to the naked eye. But we see it every day, everywhere, because all we have to do is look at each other, look at the trees. All we have to do is smell the beautiful forest out there when we walk out there. All we have to do is look at the sun, the moon. This power, what it is it seems mysterious until we know the truth about it. And you know what? It has always been inside of you and me. So we can call this very beautiful, awesome feeling. Oh my God, I can't even have enough adjectives to describe this power. But we can call it God, we can call it Spirit, we can call it Jesus, Lord, Buddha, Heaven's Door if you want. But no matter what name you give it, it is just one power. So you're at choice whether you choose to incorporate spiritual practices to experience the great possibilities this life has to offer you while you navigate your ego in pursuit of your possibilities. But you know what? It's up to you. Take a deep breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes, which integrates you back into your mind, your body, and your spirit. And while you're at it, as your eyes float back open again, look around your space and find something there to connect you to the present moment. And so now I want to have a little brief gratitude moment and thank you, Groovy G, for being our mistress of ceremony, and that the way you described this community as oh man, some of the things you say, you just be dropping bombs. I hear you like a tick tick bomb, girl. And thank you, Reverend Karen. Ooh, you too. You just hit those prayers and hit those words, and oh my God. So yes, thank you for the EPS today. I got that. And thank you, JT, for your reading, because actually your reading titled Maintaining a Vision truly and honestly hits to the points of navigating the ego in pursuit of possibility. So focus on our talk about navigating the ego in pursuit of possibility, and let's think about what it's all about. It's about the transformation of our personality's experience while we're out there pursuing our possibilities for our lives. See, we all have different aspects of our personalities. Like we can be critical, we can be encouraging, we can be worrying, we can even have some angry traits. We can even have some judging traits because people are addicted to all those critical things they are. It's an addiction. Oh my God. That's all the ego is an addiction. But you know what? The ego is still spirit. Just depends on what tide you put it on. Because if you can speak, ego can speak to you through and to you through love side or the fear side. There's a lot of things that goes on. You know, in the Bible they have 1,000 characters. Guess what? You're each and every one of them. If you really, really, really reflect. See, it's our responsibility to transform any uncomplimentary thoughts that we have or comments that, come from the ego. The ego that maybe you rather not have it speaking that way. But I'm going to tell you why it's your job to speak to that ego and feed it. Because that's what I do. I feed it what I want it to tell me back. So it's also your job to know the difference between the voices dominating or in your inner conversations at any given time. You see, I have conversations with people in the traditional religious paradigms that I was raised in because that's my family's background. See, my family does not understand what I'm talking about. They think I'm talking about something way to the moon somewhere, but that's okay. Because I have a new family that knows me and understands where I'm coming from, so they can talk to me my language, or if you will. It is my language because I claim it. But I can see and hear that when people fear change, they say things like, well, how do you know which voice is the truth? Or, oh, I can't, you know what it is? Okay, so I say, all right, so why do you want to know which voice is the truth? Because you're telling me that you don't plan on doing the work, because that's why you like to throw things at me. I was just having this conversation the other day. You just like to throw things at me to see what I'm going to say. So I come back with the Bible. It may not explicitly address the concept of proving the truth in scientific or philosophical terms for me, but it does have principles that encourage people to pursue the truth. So I was looking for truth stuff. So it encourages the testing of our beliefs and the ability to see the difference between right and wrong. See, our relevant verse that I want to talk about in the Bible today, it can be found in, I'm going to get tongue twisted a little bit and maybe not. It's in the First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 20 to 22. And the passage encourages us to examine and test everything. It says, test everything and all that stuff. Why are you holding on to what good is? What do you think is good? And what do you think is not good? So here's the words from First Thessalonians chapter 5, 20 to 22. And it says, 20 says, do not extinguish the spirit. Ooh, that was the first thing that hit me. Bam, bam. Then it said, 21 says, but test everything. Hold fast to what is good. And then it said, abstain from any form of evil. So when it said all of that, that's teaching us right off the bat, if we choose to listen, that All you have to do is know the truth of what's good, what's bad, what's evil, what's great, what you know what's harming people. But here's the thing. Don't we really, honestly, truly know the difference between evil and good? We do. So the ego knows which voice is good and the ego knows which voice is not good. But it just depends here on the paradigm we're living in at any given time. See, what happens is, no, first, let me just define what a paradigm is. So, because some people go, what the heck? It means a pattern or a routine that we fall into, you know? And so some people have, well, many people I know that, because I'm really more attracted lately to people that's on this path in some shape or form. So most people I know, that means the people on the spiritual path, of course, have been shifting in and out of passion. They know that they have been shifting out of their patterns for all their life. Because I know I have. You know, we understand this now. We remember just yesterday. I can tell you this. I can remember last week, my thing was all week, oh, I know what I want every day to eat. Salmon, I'm gonna have mashed potatoes, I'm gonna have green beans. And that was a paradigm for that week because I was into it. I was like, oh my God, that was so good. I'm going back. And then now I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go off to something else now. You know, so that's what patterns are. But that's just a light piece of what I mean by patterns and paradigms. But here's the caveat. When we seek to change these paradigms, the ones where we are critical, mean, mad, discouraged with life and all that stuff, we encounter resistance from all those existing patterns that we set. Oh, because see, all the buttons in us we built, nobody built them for us. So for example, when I say something like, that's a mean idea what she just did. She's pushing a button that she didn't build, but it caused me to believe that what you're doing is disrespecting me or not being whatever. And the same with you. You might say, well, she just triggered me, right? Because of these buttons and all these things that's in us, we have to learn to, like control them and think about it later. Because sometimes you can't think about it. Sometimes you just shout out and you can't think that, oh man, you can't think because right now you're all into it. Those patterns still exist in you no matter how you think, oh, I've been doing this for 20, 30, 25 years. Baby, listen, I've been doing this thing for 30 years, and I will never tell you that I'm immune to resistance in my body. Whoa, no. See, I built these structures because this is all I had given to me as I was raised. So I am responsible for undoing these structures that I built in my life, in my mind, and in my ego. So what happens is my ego has grown used to my ways. And so every time I think I'm going to do the right thing, here's another thing. Resistance manifests like this. It can manifest in sickness. It can manifest in setbacks. Oh, well, I was going to start the job today, but they said that, okay, setbacks. Don't forget. Okay, unexpected delays. Oh man, I'm sitting here in the airport. Now they want to test your ego is testing your ability to sit there in this whatever long line. Here, breaking up relationships. How about beating up yourself? Resistance manifests in that. Here's what I know. It's the ego that fears the change. So that's what really, really intrigues me about navigating the ego in pursuit of my possibilities. When I started out this journey some 30 years ago, I used to think no matter what I did, nothing was going right in my life. The problem is I had so many patterns that I had built these structures and my whole system was accustomed to mess. And back then I had the cholesterol, the blood pressure, and all of these things piled up on top of each other. It was honestly from what I was doing, resisting. And it's not a personal thing. It's when you don't know any better. So during the first couple of weeks of this journey I'm on, right, I'm still on. I'll never leave it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's so good to me now, but you got to get broken in, right? So I remember asking, why am I doing this? Oh God, I don't want to go through this stuff. It's rough. I have to face this. I got to face that. You know, it was all because my paradigm was set to being critical of myself, worrying and being angry and suspicious about things. And that's even another big thing. I just remember that superstition and all that stuff. Yeah. But here's what happened. As I moved into the journey, my ego started taking a back seat to my higher consciousness. Now I'm cooking with gas on a new stove because now that become that had come in my life because I had been spending more time in spiritual practices. So I said, all right, I'm gonna try it. And whoever I was working with at that time or whenever, I said, all right, I'm gonna try what they said. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I tell people you need to do this to get into the practice, and I see they didn't do it. You know what? Nothing changed. I promise you, nothing is going to change until that habit begins. But okay, that's okay. But what happened was my spiritual practices put all that criticalness and worry stuff and angry stuff, and it put it all to rest. Because you see, the ego that likes to yell at me, she was only doing that because she was uneducated. She was listening to what is that word we call it? Collective consciousness. She was listening to all that. I wasn't listening, and I began to say, whoa, we got to put her in check, best way we can, because as long as she's trying to talk, she's going to take over my higher consciousness. And see, I began to start using all the different terms in my spiritual prototypes I would build up, some of my day in the life practices and all that stuff. I started building them up, and I had a different word all the time. I would say God. Sometimes I wanted to say Jesus because I was still coming out of that road. Sometimes I would say spirit, and now it's all about source energy. Basically, it's spirit for me. What's yours? Whatever name you give it, it is all one power, and that comes alive. That power through spiritual practices. And now Daniel Nahmod in the first song just hit that all over for us. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Because here's the thing. Change disrupts all the ego's plans, especially, check it out, when it just don't want to do nothing. It's used to me coming home from work, popping on the TV, and then after I do that, it's expecting me to probably fix 1,000 different things to eat because I am so bored, out of my head, don't know what to do because tired of looking at these same old shows. It's that kind of thing. But here's what I know. The ego starts wondering, why is Rosedale trying to change? Because everything is going fine. So why don't she just let status quo take over? Because whatever. Then all of a sudden she starts getting all freaked out in there because she's like, oh my God, no, that's not going to work out because remember the other day that's her. I got to understand. That's the part of the ego that does not want to change this paradigm. She's set in her ways at the time. No, she's not there no more. But anyway, it's absolutely fascinating how our personalities with the ego, can profoundly actually influence the possibilities that we choose in life. Wow. So all we got to do is be in pursuit once we realize this is what I want. I want better. See, JT's reading, Maintaining a Vision, spoke volumes to me. She read that the purpose of maintaining a vision is to hold the consciousness of possibility within us. It's about opening the possibility consciousness. See, all too often, people get that task more oriented lifestyle where I gotta go to work at 6, I gotta go to bed at 9, I gotta watch the news at this time. And so all those details that have nothing to do with that girl in here that's begging you to let's get out of this rut, those are material facts. In my words, I say, not much of that spiritual stuff is even, material stuff is even spiritual. The mind gets so cluttered and it's got all this debris in it and it's got a lot of doubt. And anything that you say, it's going to argue you back and say, nope, that's not going to work. And you ever talk to a friend that does that? Well, that's all their ego's doing to them. So I don't have time for those people, because it's not that I'm like snooty. What it is I'm saying, oh no, I can't go back there where you are. Now, either you're going to come up to my peace, because you're not going to bring me down to your dirt. No, I'm not jumping in the gutter with you. But come on up, enjoy my peace. If not, bam, bam. A mind like that I had is not a healthy environment for the vision that I was having to materialize. Because you know how you say, oh, we got lots of visions. Oh, I can't wait till this happens. I'm going to let this happen. But you know what? It can't materialize in that debris, in that trash. Your ego wants you to know that I'm in charge. So what happens is the ego cannot take credit for what you're doing if you call yourself successful. But I'm telling, like JT said, the minute you fail, it's going to say, see that? I knew I wasn't good. You know why I didn't get it? I didn't get that job because of this. And you know why this didn't work out? Because of that. Yeah, that's the ego talking to me. I said, no. I don't want to hear her comments on that. So that's also when self-condemnation starts and the self-criticism starts, and then the ego takes credit for all that stuff and say, yep, that's right. So it is really up to you to do everything you can to satisfy your ego's need to feel like she is doing something. So what do? I went and educated myself on things that she can have a new language. So the victim's language of it says, look at me, look at what happened. That's the ego. I made a mess and blah, 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 blah. But from the higher consciousness, the one that stepped in front for me, she's the one that's saying things like, well, it's time to shift gears, baby, and I got you. Come on, I got you. So no matter how she intimidates you, I got you. Step out on faith. So in other words, you got to create a paradigm shift where it is so strong and it is so powerful that is nobody could tell you, no, I cannot do that. So here's the deal. In truth, we'll always have that ego with us. Take her with you, him with you, Alan. And so why not navigate to our, and I love the fact that Karen, EPS, okay, why not navigate the ego by telling her all the possibilities that you think of? In other words, let her, your higher conscious, hear that so she got more power against the ego. I love that Groovy told us that CSL Charlotte is a diverse community, because where we're getting ready to go now, we're getting ready to go into February, the month of Black History. So no matter where I am, what I did, what I had to do as far as that is, a lot of times I say to myself, well, we are going to do this in this community. We're going to do that. So we acknowledge everything. So every year, the 2023, we always, 2023, we did our Burning Bowl. And I got, put it out there. Everybody, let's do this. Let's get into something. Everybody put your culture out. But I went outside the community and got a girlfriend to do my, Shawnee, she did the German race, right? And Harley did the Jewish. The thing is, being a diverse community is a beautiful thing. But this month, we are going to generalize, do something that I always do, and that is the Black History Month. So listen to this next song that's about to come up, because it's going to share with us the importance of staying woke and being open-minded about all peoples. Because People that are, oh, and here's another thing. I'm expecting to hear from the LGBTQ community also, because there's a lot of people I know that are not shy to get up here and do and talk about what they want to talk about. But when we do that, my ego started learning that all that stuff you thought I had to learn about these people. The reason why I learned about them was because they looked like me and I could identify with them. And when I was able to identify, I said, well, I can do that too. So I fed her that. And the more I fed her that, my higher consciousness was feeding me back. So I taught my ego all these inspiring stories about these fabulous people who I'm not going to name all of them right now, but know that there are a lot of examples out there that quieted the negativity of my ego and allowed my higher consciousness mind to expand. And that's how I navigate my ego in pursuit of my possibilities. So what I want to say now, this next song is a bridge or a barrier over what's happening in the world today. Because what is it going on? What we're talking about? We are talking about how we're honoring people, the struggles, the resilience of the Black communities. And we're going to listen to the song called Black History, It's You. Because you know what? Black history belongs to this country. It belongs to every soul sitting here today because as long as you live in this country, it's your history too. So why not? And not only is it everybody's history, but everybody else's history is ours as well. So this is all I know. By the time I reached my teen years, I had to tell my self-esteem something because it was at an all-time low. And all my reading, all that crap was just out the window. And see, here's what I do know. I needed a complete overhaul, right? And so as I started looking at the people that came before me, the ancestors that I stand on their shoulders and saw how fabulous they were beat down, all of these things happened to them, and so many came out phenomenal. I said, I can do it too. So knowing the history changed my entire life. And so therefore, I would like to make sure that whatever I do, I become and remain a very positive, beneficial presence on the planet. So that being said, happy Black History Month to all of us. So that said, what I want to say, this is the time that I like to talk about birthdays. You know your birthday. I don't. But if you jot down your birthday and you're on YouTube, if you put just the month and the day, we got you. We will always acknowledge your day because that's the day you came to be. And if you come into the community, you will hear it. And if you don't, it's okay because you do not have to be in our presence just for you to feel our spirit. So I got to now say a big shout out and to all of the platform team today, all you fabulous people, and the first person who is our technology coordinator and the cleanup woman. She really actually demonstrated that cleanup this week when we had like the ball was bouncing from right to left, and there she was, grabbed it. I got it. I take you guys. Let's go. And she took it and ran with it. So she is that. She makes sure things are done that are not done. She don't leave stuff hanging, and she don't like loose ends. She's like one of those murderers. Anyway, I like messing with her. I don't know why I do that to Groupie. But anyway, I'll open in prayer. I'll open and close in prayer. Reverend Karen, oh my God, with the EPS, you got me, girl, on that one. That was fabulous. And Rita, JT, that was fabulous. Maintaining, you know what I meant, right? Possibilities. But anyway, fabulous. It matched. Right? It put the bridge there. And thank you so much. And for our man here, the right-hand man, my A-team dude, he is the AV and the right-hand man and the person doing the music and the person doing the announcement. So he is on and popping today. So it's good to have him always here by my side. And we have Melissa, she's our greeter and our spotlight girl. And she gets in here sometimes and runs in and do her readings and all of that wonderful stuff. So this team, man, I always have to shout out to them. And thank you, Mo, for being ready on standby, waiting to get those prayers in. So, um, oh, and by the way, I just always like to shout out to Timmy P. I know he's unavailable, but he will hear that I am always calling out to him when he's not here because I got to keep the light on for him. Yes, indeed. So before we close out, remember that today was all about navigating the ego in pursuit of possibilities. Now, what did that mean to you? Okay, so let's listen to this last song. It's going to help us experience that one power born in each and every person, because it's all about all of humanity. See, this song, Stand Up, it just serves as a reminder. Now, that last song, it was in a song, and you didn't have to get a whole history lesson because you heard it in a song, all these fabulous people, right? In Black history. But now the stand-up song is going to serve as a powerful reminder of the strength, the tenacity, and the resilience that have been the cornerstones of the Black community throughout history. So that being said, it's also going to acknowledge the struggles that were faced while emphasized. But you know what? Yes, Blacks went through a lot of adversity. You see what they did because you're going to hear that this month. You always hear what went down. But you know what? Let's reflect on you for a minute. Reflect on how you deal with adversity when you listen to that song, especially in this upcoming week. You're still part of humanity. So let's go with that next song. Wow, 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 wow. That says an awful lot. Say so, man. It's just not only just because of them, but if you could see, if you were in that position, or if any of us were in, I've never been in that. But I mean, just to see that power that people have within them. So you know humans are very powerful people. Okay. So that's all it's saying. So that all saying, I'm now ready for you, Reverend Karen, to pray us out.
Thank you, Reverend Rosedale. What a beautiful service. What a beautiful message. And taking that message and all the powerful things that were said in it that we take into ourselves, and just knowing that that ego positioning system is alive and well, but it does not tell us where we need to be on the globe. It tells us where to stay away because it wants to keep us safe. And I absolutely know, as I do this prayer this morning, that we are powerful, that the power that we have within us is the power of the universe. We were born with it. We go out of this world with it. It does not die. It becomes stronger and stronger. And we know where our possibilities are. And stepping through the door of possibilities, it's not comfortable. It can be scary, but when we do it, the light shines, and it shines brightly, and it brings us to where our passion is, where our energy is. And that's where we need to be. That's where we need to be. And I know that, and from all the songs and the messages and everything that was said, the reading today, let's go out into our lives. Let's go out into our lives and bring that light and bring that power that is the God expressing through us, knowing that we have it, that we are it, and we can spread it, and we do spread it. With each smile, with each look, with each outstretched hand, we spread that power to another person, to another life form upon this earth. So let's do that, and do that with love and compassion in our hearts. And in this, I release this prayer with gratitude and thanksgiving into the universal law. And join me in saying, and so it is.
Karen, and so it is, Reverend Karen. What did you say? The ego said, stay away from there. So you know that you take that ego with you. Okay, Karen, I'm not going anywhere with that because you know we can talk about this tomorrow together. But anyway, God, Karen, you hitting like bing, bing, bing today inside of me, my cells. You know what I mean? Woo, Karen, that's all I can tell you. So anyway. It's time to say good, have a good night. It's time to take all that you heard and just let it relish around inside your soul a little bit, and take it home with you and in your practices this week. Remember. So that said, I'm going to say, have a great day, have a great week, and enjoy whatever you've got going on for the rest of this easy Sunday.